Notes for my October 2024 reading of a 2017 autobiography of comedian Kevin Hart. I finished this in time that I have the character space in the title that I can put comedian. Yes. Okay. I'm filming this Thursday, 31 October 2024. I'm Tanis Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle. And these are my book and reading notes for my October 2024 reading of an autobiography on comedian Kevin Hart. I can't make this up. Life Lessons by Kevin Hart with Neil Strauss, June 2017, first hardcover, 37 ink / Atria Books edition hardcover, ISBN in the video description. I started the book on Monday, 28 October 2024 and finished the book today. I finished the book on Thursday, 31 October 2024. There's 380 pages, including the photo credits section. It took me 4 days to read. I read 70 pages Monday, 130 pages Tuesday, 160 pages yesterday, Wednesday, and then 20 pages today, Thursday. This is a public library copy, and I saw it on the shelves and plucked it off. Yes. Okay. Book is, I used all my little post-its, however many there are now, so we're going to keep going. Book notes, including construction and designs. Got a picture, a visual of the dude with dogs. I don't know if this is like a portrait or not. There's the chapters were very variable in length, but it didn't have like a blank page before each chapter. That was before sections. There's a blank page before sections, but there's a chapter, and then some page breaks. It had variable formatting, which was kind of fun. The name of the book on even pages with the page number, and then the name of the section. So it was like life lessons from blank, kind of a approach. And so then the name of the section as opposed to the chapter, up with the odd page numbers. Medium font, 1.25 spacing, big pages, 1 to 1.25 spacing, big pages. So yes. The chapters were named. There's another example. There's dialogue in here. The dialogue is formatted differently. And there are pictures in here. And then there's there's a blank page, if you like blank pages, with the different sections of the book. And it'd be life lessons from, whatever it is. And then there'd be like a visual or picture and with a caption, and then photo credits are at the back of the book, page 380. Yes. I have no complaints. And they were bigger pages, but so I ended up, like, I would sit and just kind of have it open and look down at the book and then turn the pages, as opposed to like holding it up, which I did some too to read, but I also did a different approach because it did a good job staying open, so I could just like set it down like this and turn the page, which was kind of fun. So not all books I can do that for. If they're very tightly bound and not that many pages, it's kind of hard to make it lie flat like this and read. So it stays, well, okay, I'm doing a bad job, but point being, it works. It worked for my reading. Reading notes. So, if I own TNT, the television network in the future, how about a talk show with two hosts, Conan O'Brien and Kevin Hart, instead of one of them being a host? They are both hosts of one show. Perhaps then TNT could become the new Channel 5 in my current area, the Seattle area. Bump out whoever's currently at 5, and it becomes TNT with a talk show with Conan O'Brien and Kevin Hart as hosts. Permanent. Okay. There we go. So this is something I thought of. Now let's, yeah. And so this is an autobiography, although I think he says it's not an autobiography, but it's one of the best comprehensive autobiographies I have read, including the introspection elements. So for my classification, autobiography. And it did a very good job. And there's a lot, I recommend reading it. On the library system's 5 stars, I give it 5 stars. Yes, it's very good. Okay. Page 12, his mom, this is something that I think is relevant for, well, there are people like this in society. So it's like, I might bring that one up. He characterizes her as a person who was trying to run his life including control who's in his social network. So like he used the term pick my friends. Right? There are control freaks who want to control everybody other people interact with. It's like, yeah. All right, page 26. He's 5'4" tall. That's like 3.5 inches shorter than me. I am a she, her, hers. I'm Tanis Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle. Okay. Page 45. This one. It came loose. Taking a situation and finding, if it's a bad situation, trying to find something in it that was good. Yes, that's page 45. It might be how I synopsize that. Page 51. He does talk about sex in this book. And he discusses not getting pubic hair until he was almost 18 years old. Almost 18 years old. Okay, page 51. But there's a lot of discussion in that, and it was like, just so now I'm trying to think of things that are like within the realm of community guidelines. Julie Andrews talked about pubic hair too, and compared it to lilac flowers. So, page 74. This is good. So, quote, "That's the power of addiction. It is stronger than family, honor, and morality," unquote. Yes, people put family first, sport first, country first. But at the end of the day, if they get addicted to something, out the window. They can't be in control of their addictions. That's a good one from my perspective. All right, page 81. I like this one too. You never know your level of underachieving until you see what overachieving looks like, unquote. I like that one. It's like seeing something and being like, ooh, that was a close call for me. Or seeing something and being like, that's a mistake. I think that's a mistake. Right? Whether you are the one overachieving or it's someone else, or you can stand to learn from both yourself doing stuff, but other people as well. Right? If you take time and think about it and try and contextualize it. So I thought that was a good one. Page 91. Oh, he makes a comment about having personality. It can save your life. It's a survival skill. Personality plus knowledge equaled success. So if you take that personality and add in some knowledge, you may be successful. That's page 91. Page 111. His reference to getting up on the stage, was it the first time he was doing his comedy thing, or doing comedy? I guess not his comedy thing, that took time to finesse, right? But getting up and doing comedy and having the microphone in his hand was like, says, better than sex, well, almost as good as sex. So having something else he can call home aside from his family kind of thing. So that's page 111. Page 171, he brings up something called hack court, which is essentially how I might describe it. From my perspective, is they have a joke and they want to so there's people in the audience, it's comedy, so they might be hecklers or they might try and hijack the joke. So essentially they put it in hack court to figure out how might people try and run the joke to be about them or in their personal agenda when they're audience or something like that. So they put it through a hack court to, figure out what they're going to say in advance of it saying. So if that does happen, you already know how to bring it back to your own routine. Right? So audience and hecklers are kind of predictable. And so why not allocate time to doing that? Cutting those bad individuals off. Page 211. He goes from $175 per deal to over $250,000. Income change, big differential there. Right. Skipped the 100,000, 200,000, went to over 250,000 from 175. Okay. Page 225. He starts figuring out to think of it not in terms of I want this role, but think of like not one step, this step, but 2 steps ahead, and then kind of plan for that and to incorporate the current step. And then he wasn't always, you know, waiting on somebody else, right? If you're thinking 2 steps, then you kind of are better able to adapt the current step of something. Either way, right? That way, that next thing you already can start thinking of what am I going to say either way, you know, kind of thing. How much do I need it? Either way, that kind of stuff. Page 247. Bad news comes in 3s, and he goes, no. Like he'd heard that. It's like, no, it comes in more. It's just you stop counting after 3 because it becomes so depressing. It's like, I've been through phases like that in my life. Eventually, if you're good at thinking, you think of talking about something else. We're doing all right on time. Whew. Okay, page 250. He makes some, you know, one day this is the case and the next day something else is the case. So like such as, you know, if you're in a penitentiary, eventually you get released. One day you're in the penitentiary, the next day you're not. Right. So and he brings up a number of those things of life does change rapidly. That's reality. Even if people can't accept that reality. Page 263. He says, desperation is a great work motivator. Page 279. He didn't see his friend for 8 years. I haven't seen some of the people from the University of California, Berkeley for over 5 years. Okay. Page 289, chapter 74. He's asking the readers, call me if you can make this happen about getting an honorary degree, though he says he would prefer a doctorate. Before I started reading this book, I said, maybe he could be my first student, him and Josh Kerr. Like, they're both my first pick. It's a tie. I stand by that. That would be PhD physics in Italy with me as an advisor. Only one thing to make it happen. Mr. Kevin Hart, do you have your 4-year degree, bachelor degree, or equivalent necessary for Italy? Page 335. He pays the guy, or bets, so a guy loses 65 pounds. There was betting involved, and he loses 65 pounds, and Kevin Hart pays him $20,000 for losing that 65 pounds. So, there we go. In conclusion, marked full book number 57 for me for the 2024 year. These are a lot of the highlights I thought from the book. He didn't start in comedy, but it does a really great job of his career path. It was perhaps the best thus far of any of the books I've covered in these book/reading notes videos, for doing a really great job of outlining their career, so his career. So those are my notes for my October 2024 reading of a 2017 autobiography of comedian Kevin Hart.